there's only one place to begin. In D.C., yesterday afternoon, the absolute madness. Duke, UConn, the craziest finish you'll ever see. Ian Eagle on the call.
72-70, Duke, 10 seconds to go.
Got to cut and run through the ball, and who better than this guy?
Get it into Boozer, back for Sarr, ahead, Boozer, that ball deflected and stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds, Mullins tosses it up. Oh! It's good with .3. UConn goes in front.
Utterly impossible.
One of these days, you'll be saying, do you remember where you were when you watched this play take place? Braylon Mullins making a shot that will live in every montage we see for the next half century. UConn, the comeback. Here's Mullins on the moment.
My instinct was just to throw it ahead, and I know AK was ahead of me, and he had just hit one, so I thought he was about to shoot it. And he ended up throwing the ball back to me, and I knew there was like 4 seconds on the clock. So, I mean, I just had to put one up there, and it's crazy. That was the one I made tonight.
We fought, we clawed, put ourselves in position to take advantage of a mistake that they made. And, one of the most brilliant shooters that you'll ever see shoot a basketball, made an incredible, legendary March shot.
I turned the ball over. Should have been strong with the ball. That would cost our team our season.
This is not about one play. It's about every play to put us in that position. And that's what you don't want to do. Where one play, something can happen. And so for me, look, it's going to be tough, but it's not going to be on one play.
The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, and exactly the right people to break it all down. JWill, who's doing his best. We appreciate you waking up. We'll see if the sun does indeed rise for all the Duke fans this morning. And the coach, Seth Greenberg, is with us here. Seth, let's start with you. The play from its very inception is fascinating in every little instant of it, every frame. Let's roll it. And, Coach, you take us through exactly what you see.
This was terrific execution. You don't want to bring a ton of people to the basketball. They're denying Isaiah Evans the ball on the left-hand side of the floor, so he releases. You want to get the ball to Cam Boozer. Why? Because it's a good matchup. They go 2 to the ball, or press offense. You want someone behind the basketball. Good pass. Then what do you want to do? You want to fill to the middle of the floor. Now, all of a sudden, all 5 defenders are wasted. You got to turn and face. You can't dribble the ball. He put the ball on the floor. Caden put the ball on the floor, gave the defense a chance to get the deflection. And then once they got the ball, how about Alex Caravan, the poise to give it back to Mullins, who is a world-class three-point shooter. He knocks down the big three. Look, the press offense was absolutely terrific. The execution at the end, catch it, turn, face, look up the floor, or catch it, turn, and face, be strong with the ball, and accept the foul. The execution was great. The operation was a success. But the patient died because you can't turn and put it on the floor and then give the defense a chance to get the deflection. It's
extraordinary detail, an extraordinary breakdown of it there. JWill, what did you see?
Well, a lot of things. It doesn't always come down to one play, Greeny, but damn, right? But damn. And Cameron Boozer catching the ball in the corner. First off, Isaiah Evans, I get it, Seth, he's going to release. I want the best free throw shooter with the ball in his hands. Cameron Boozer catches the ball here. These are plays that are going to haunt these guys. If anything, you don't need to pass the ball back to the inbounds player. Just hold on to the ball. Even Caden turning, dribbling is stuff that you practice daily. These are habits. Turn, face, don't dribble the ball. You can just be strong with the ball. Who cares if they're open or not? They are going to foul you. I get it. And then Alex Caravan, 1 of 6 from the three-point land, just made a shot beforehand. But what a pass and what a shot. Yes. One of the most iconic shots we will have in the history of college basketball. If it's Christian Laettner talking about his shot, if it's Santa Clara that we're talking about, that will go down as one of the biggest shots in this Duke-UConn rivalry where, frankly, the last 3 times they've owned Duke, they've owned our number.
Look, before Christian Laettner made the legendary shot that beat Kentucky, the one that lives forever, he made a buzzer beater against Connecticut. And from that point forward, Connecticut has had the edge in what has become one of the really great rivalries in this or any sport. How about the other side of it, Coach? Take us through the defensive side of it, because I'm watching the game and I'm screaming, foul, give the foul, give the foul. And I thought that the opportunity had gotten away from them. Take us through what from a Dan Hurley perspective, what he's asking his players to do and what happened there.
he's trying to get the ball in the air. He's trying to get a trap. Maybe you can run through a passing lane. Then he's going to try to obviously get a deflection. The idea is that they did have to sell out. They had to get two to the ball. But what JWill said is 100% right, Greeny, because we're getting zeroed in on this play. It was the second half that UConn, but watch right here. They tried to get a foul there. They couldn't get away with it. Great high hands, good trap, and then the decision making. But think about the second half. 44-28, second half for UConn. Think about the second half, what they did in terms of points off turnovers. 16 points off turnovers. That's where the game was won. Their ability to turn Duke over in the second half, be aggressive, get deflections, get out in transition. I call them turnovers for touchdowns. They outscored Duke in the second half off turnovers, 16-0. 16-0. And then on the glass, 8-2. The first half, Duke dominated the offensive glass. Second half, 8-2. The adjustments that Dan Hurley made, and then the poise they had to keep on grinding, and stay in the game, that's their habits. That's who they are every single day in practice. They're held to a standard. There's no guarantee they would have won that game, but the way they competed in the second half and stay poised, that's a reflection of the coaching staff.
Go, Jay.
Greeny, just let me say this to you, man. I won a championship my sophomore year. My junior year, we had a 17-point lead against Indiana. That game haunts you for the rest of your life. I know John Shire, 124-27, 3 straight Elite Eight appearances, back-to-back 30-plus win seasons, a Final Four appearance last year. 3 out of 4 years he's won the ACC tournament title. Sheer dominance over his 4 years. But what will people be talking about today? Their ability to end games. Last year with Cooper Flagg in the Final Four and having a double-digit lead, and this year, their 3 losses, in each of their 3 losses, they've had double-digit leads. It's haunting for a player. This is the good and the bad of how March Madness rolls. And now you have UConn in the Final Four. And by the way, that Michigan-Arizona game, people are going to position that game to be the national title. But if you're Duke, if you're UConn, or if you're Illinois, you're thinking, hey, if they beat up on each other, if I can win this next game, maybe I'll get the worst case of them in the championship game with a legit chance to win. That's how you're thinking about it.
Go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, and Jay, what you just said about John Shire. John Shire has done an incredible job. He's like a magician coming out of timeouts. I mean, those plays, they gave up leads. They gave up leads because the other team didn't just roll over and quit. I mean, the other team is trying to win as well. They're trying to give things and take away things and try to put their team in position to make plays. I mean, UConn goes 4 for 5 to finish the game from the three-point line. Prior to that, they were 1 for life. 1 for life. I mean, certain guys make plays, but what John Shire has done, he put those guys in position to make the Jimmy and Joes, the X's and O's are Jimmy and Joes. Like, hey, you know what? Caden Boozer's had an incredible year. Stepping in after Foster got hurt and the poise that he played with Cam Boozer. Isaiah Evans making big shots all season. Sometimes the other guy just makes one more play and it's a micro. Oh, they can't win a big game. Or they struggle at the end of games. You know what? You got to give the other team credit. What John Shire has been able to do, following a legend, incredible.
Seth, I agree with you, Seth. But at the end of the day, right, also, I give UConn all the credit in the world. You give Houston all the credit in the world. Sure. But when you look at things on paper, look at what Cooper Flagg and Con Knipper are doing in the NBA right now. I mean, they're battling each other for Rookie of the Year. Yeah, it's back-to-back National Players of the Year. It's not fair, but this is the gift and the curse of having top-tier talent and being the program of Duke University. It just comes along with the territory.
Of course.
You wake up with freshmen.
Yeah, you wake up this morning and you're Duke and you're devastated, and that's the beauty, and as you just put it perfectly, it is the beauty and the agony that comes with sports. Just very quickly, I want a quick take on Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley will join us, the coach of UConn will join us 9:30 a.m. Eastern time this morning. Just a quick take, Jay, because you said it in our meeting this morning. You played for one of the legendary coaches in the history of the sport in Mike Krzyzewski, and obviously Dan Hurley hasn't been around long enough to put himself in that category. But what are the right things to say about him as a coach right now in his 3rd Final Four in the last 4 years?
He's the best and most brilliant mind we have in the game of college basketball. He's one of the most polarizing figures and one of the best geniuses we have in the game. And if he wins his 3rd championship in 4 years, he is the modern age Coach K. Like that's what it is. Like he is thrusted into an echelon that rare few people have ever been in. And in fact, he's done it in a 4-year span. Even just getting back to the Final Four talks about his sheer coaching ability and how much of a genius he is in the game today.
Okay, well said.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Jay. And the thing about Dan Hurley, he's unrelenting, and you've got to be special to play for him. But what they do on a daily basis and the standard they're held to, and the energy and the commitment that they're asked, every single player, every single staff member, is unparalleled. It's absolutely incredible. But those kids love him. They play for him. They believe in him. They hang on every single word. The guy's just different.
We have him coming up live a little over an hour from now. You mentioned it earlier in the day, Michigan